now looking at LeadImpact, and it is 1 week since we started our 3 campaigns. One being in the internet and email marketing niche, one in the real estate home staging niche, and one for traveling. And so it's been since last week Wednesday, and today is Wednesday. 7 days since we started them. Let's take a look at our final results and reporting functions within LeadImpact. And so here on the first page with LeadImpact, it shows you your campaigns, and it defaults to showing you your statistics for yesterday. You're not able to from here look at today's statistics in real time, but in reporting it does give you today's stats. So you can scroll to the bottom and we can see that yesterday we had 56 impressions for our traveling checklist. We had 30 for our home selling secrets campaign and 33 for our free email series. So let's get into the reporting. Click on reporting at the top. Okay. Here you can now take a look and choose between whether you want a custom date period or whether you want to have one of their predefined ones. Yesterday, last 7 days, month, last month. You can choose one of those. I'm going to choose a custom date because I want it to start last week Wednesday. Right there. So I'm going to select for the beginning. July 15th was last week Wednesday. I'm going to hit Save Changes. It shows up here. End date is today. We're going to first look at our campaigns. So I'm going to scroll down and select our applicable campaigns. Those 3 there. View them by summary and click View Performance Report. So we can see in the last week, our email series has gotten us 3 conversions, which is pretty good, $5 spend. Our home selling secrets, no conversions and $17. So that was a real bummer of a campaign for this one here, but it's all learning. You just do some more testing and tweaking. And our travel checklist had 467 impressions, spent $7, a little more with no conversions there as well. Okay, let's look into this a little bit more in depth. Let's look at, we'll keep the dates there, the 15th. Don't worry about landing page because we only have 1 landing page for each campaign, so it'll produce the same results. But let's look at our keywords and see which ones were producing for us. Let's do 1 campaign at a time. I'm going to get rid of these 2 and do our free email series and view the report. Okay, so we can see over the last week we had 2 conversions on aweber.com. That's great with 42 impressions. I would consider that's really good. I would increase our bidding on that so we can get more impressions because that's looking pretty good. Keep monitoring it, of course. We had 1 conversion on ClickFunnels. That's really good as well for 25 impressions. So I'd increase our bidding slightly there. Versus Constant Contact, 120 impressions, cost us $100.80 with no conversions. I think I actually shut that one down already. These others, they're not too bad for the number of impressions, so I would just leave them running until we can make a more definitive decision on whether they're profitable or not. Okay, let's try another campaign here. Home selling secrets. Get rid of the email. No conversions. And I think some of these have already shut down. HGTV, House, Redfin, Zillow. Zip Realty, I would want to pretty close to shut that one down because it's just not converting. And I might start to evaluate my capture page, see if it's got the right wording, the right copy to get someone to want to give their email address. And maybe even our lead magnet. Maybe the lead magnet isn't compelling, that people don't care and they aren't willing to give up their email address for it. And so that would require evaluating as well. Finally, our traveling checklist. Select that one. Here again, no conversions. Some really high impressions here for Travelocity and TripAdvisor. I would shut those down. I keep my eye on France.com, and the others I would just let run and see if they produce anything for us. Of course, you have to remember through all of this that you got to keep adding more URLs. The more targeted, the better. Yet you got to have them get some impressions. You can find a URL that's very targeted, a long tail URL, but maybe it's not going to get any impressions, so it's not really good for anything. So ideally, you'll want to find websites that are specific to what you are promoting. Okay, so we'll shut that one down. Now, you can as well sort by date. So if we take our one successful campaign here, our free email secrets, let's do a sort by date here. We've still got our correct dates up there, I can see. Let's look at the report. Okay, so it's sorted now our URLs and each date, which days got an impression and how many impressions. Okay. So you can see that. So what I would do in this instance, I would go into my campaigns. I would go into my free email series, which we were getting some conversions. Keep clicking on it, the landing page, till now we see our keywords here. So we know that Aweber and ClickFunnels had conversions. So let's take a look at our bidding. All right, so Aweber, we were getting traffic, even being ranked 7 because Aweber is such a popular site. I may then just bump us up. You could try bumping it up to another higher position, like maybe 2.4 cents. See how much more traffic and conversions you get there. I wouldn't jump right away up to 6 cents because you might get flooded with several hundred impressions a day. And maybe it was a fluke. Those 2 conversions came because Aweber isn't terribly targeted. It's quite a popular website. A lot of people use it. And so I wouldn't jump up too fast with my pricing. I would scale it up if we continue to get conversions. Keep scaling it up until you're at that point where your lead cost is about where you want it to be. And if that's $1 per lead, then great. And if it's 2 or 5, then just scale up accordingly. And the other one was ClickFunnels. And we're ranked 4th there, bidding 1.8 cents. So I might there too. I might put us into, say, the 3rd spot. So the 3rd spot would mean bidding 2.3 cents or higher. So 2.4, 2.3 around there. We'll get more traffic and again see if it continues converting at that rate. Now previously you can see we've shut down Constant Contact already because it had so many impressions and no conversions. And the rest you could check here where our ranking is. Lead pages, I know in lead pages we had a conversion on a different PPV network, so you may want to bump up the pricing a little bit on that one. And I think there was another one, StreamSend also, but we're already the #1 bidder there. Okay. So let's go back to our campaigns. Finally look at our home selling secrets. So here I believe we had no conversions and a number of them had a lot of traffic. We've shut down a lot of these already. Zip Realty, Zillow, Redfin, House, and HGTV. We've shut those all down already because they gave us so much traffic. So that's fine. You'd want to, in this campaign, make sure you keep adding more and more URLs and just keep monitoring it. And same thing for the last campaign here, the traveling checklist. What's handy is when you're running campaigns over multiple PPV networks, if you're seeing conversions on one network, take that into account when you're in your other networks, because maybe, you know, largely it'll be the same type of people going to a certain website. And for example, Rick Steves, I believe we had a conversion, it might have been on another, on a different PPV network. So obviously, I mean, it's obviously a travel website, but the right person, the right avatar is going there to exchange their email for our lead magnets. So I would keep monitoring that one and want to stay in first place to get all the traffic I can from there. If it's just simply not converting through this PPV network, well, then maybe I would shut it down. there will be a slight difference in the people that are using the different PPV networks. Some PPV networks are very, we talked about it in one of the initial videos, they're very gaming oriented. Others are more oriented towards antivirus, computer software. So you will have a slight different clientele using the different PPV networks. That about concludes our looking at LeadImpact. The reporting capabilities are not quite as in-depth as some of the other PPV networks. You can get your basics, which URL is converting, but it does lack a little bit compared to, for sure, 50 on red and Traffic Vance. Anyways, that will be it for LeadImpact.